All right, so it's currently Torchlight Infinite's 5th season, Clockwork, Ballet. How do you make money here? This is one of the biggest things for newer players in this game. If I had to compare it to, for example, Path of Exile, I know Path of Exile can be hard for new players. This game is another step above. The difference between people who know what they're doing and don't know what they're doing is crazy. You also have the pet aspect. But even that aside, if you're good at the game, you will earn like 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 10 times more. And that is because of a few things, because there's a lot of bait in this game. So I'm quickly going to go over the league mechanic, how it works, and what you should be doing. Before I go on, the league mechanic this league is ridiculous. I mean this. If you're not making money, that's because you're getting sidetracked by other stuff. You're wasting your time. What is a waste of time? Early on, everything else. Literally everything else. If you're just walking around, killing single mobs or something, or, oh, there's like a cube, I'll just stand there and just do it over and over, and I'm just going to get a coffee while nothing happens, you're wasting your time. And the main issue here is that this right here, right, the Atlas passive tree, the new Void Shard, is minuscule at the start compared to what you earn from the league mechanic. You could put all your points in here. If you're doing, for example, tier 7s and you're not there yet. At juicing levels, don't get me wrong, this tree is really strong and the league mechanic gets less and less important, but still important. But early on, the league mechanic is all you make. It's like 70% of what you make, and it's free, right? Everything you add here with compasses, everything that you do that slows you down is going to make you way less money. You're wasting your time. So I will show you exactly what the league mechanic is about. I'm just going to open a map. Now, it's obviously a harder map than you will experience, but let's just quickly do it. I will actually... No, that's fine. Let's just do one. Okay. The league mechanic is pretty straightforward. You go into a map, you go here to Alice, and you click on her. Now, there's going to be 3 things you can get here. This is basically where you get a global buff for the whole map. Okay. Most of the time, if it's higher rarity, it's better. So for example, orange is better than purple, is better than blue. You can still read what it means. There's a few exceptions. For example, if it says remove 2 operation cogwheels, right? Or remove 2 cogwheels, but get extra rarity. Never take those. But in general, most of them are same-ish. Some of them are OP. This is something for you to figure out, and they're still changing it. At least I saw they changed one in the patch. What you have to know is, in general, higher rarity means better. You're thinking now, well, pal, couldn't you go a little bit more in depth? Maybe make like a spreadsheet with all the mods. It doesn't matter that much. It just matters that you're blasting. You should be just absolutely obliterating mobs. It doesn't matter. If you misclick, you're still going to make a lot of money. It's fine. There is a highest tier, though. There is a tier where you get a rainbow, and it's quite rare, and different things will happen. It could be that you're getting to a boss. For example, if you go into the map and there's immediately a portal, you know you're about to get stomped if you don't know how it works. It doesn't matter. You can also leave the boss alone, just do the next map. Just run it, right? There's other things where you, for example, get into a zone and all of a sudden you can, I don't know, kill as many cogwheels as you want in 4 minutes. That's all good, but I'm just going to show you this right now. After you start this, the clock will run down, and you have a passive tree where you can make this harder, get better rewards. For example, I made this one pretty hard for myself, but we're going to click on it. And what happens now is there's going to be a timer up here. Let's just hope I can explain this while not dying. So you basically run through here, and there are cogwheels. The cogwheels are these things on your minimap. I'm fighting them right now. Basically, there's monsters popping out here, right? You can see this right here. There's monsters popping out, you kill them, you move on, and you get a reward up here. Some kind of reward type. And the reward type is either random or whatever global buff you got at the start already gave you an upside to give you more rarity. Blue means really bad, purple means decent, orange means good, and then there's also red, which is very good, and then there's rainbow, which means screen explosion, right? It happens sometimes. You want to kill all of these cogwheels. I actually missed one because I was explaining. So it's going to kind of blink, and once it goes away from the minimap, you know you've completed it. I left some loot at the end. It's fine, right? Who cares? Okay, so you run through here, and then you run to the boss, and at the boss, so you will see one thing here on the side. There's a grade. This grade is important. It upgrades whenever you clear one of these cogwheels. In this case, we had 7, so now we're at S rank, but you don't want your time to run out. You want to click on this. So here's one more important thing. This boss, you see right here, you cannot kill it. It's basically like the Nightmare last league. You cannot kill it. You're not supposed to kill it. You're supposed to run away. It disappears whenever your time runs out or when you click on the end button. But when you click on the end button, you get an extra grade. So you don't want the time to run out, if you understand what I mean. You do not want it to run out. Hope I'm not going to die here. I might actually die. No, I'm kind of okay. All right. I lost my stacks. It's fine. So that's basically all there is to it. The grade is a multiplier to your gear. So you want to be able to get to the end and be able to click on that end thingy so you get an extra rank. If you die, also, one of your rewards goes away. Bad. And that is literally all you need to make stacks of FE this league. Another thing I will point out is there is a tree for this league mechanic. It's right over here. It's pretty damn straightforward. You will fill these out over time. And in my opinion, I mean, there's not much to say here. You just go around, you get extra effects, right? It's going to get harder. Now, if at this point you're struggling, you can take these points, get a little bit of default time, but that's probably a build issue, and I would just keep moving. In my personal opinion, all of these points make it more likely that you get good rewards. The difference between a blue reward and a purple and an orange, it's so huge that you should just be progressing. Then you take stuff like this. I guess the only thing I would say is the rating effects will be applied to all monsters, increasing the overall rewards. This will also make the combat harder, so if you can't quite do it yet, don't do it. Important here at the end is there are a few notes here that make the game really, really rough. So the first one here is usually you get extra time when you complete something. This will decrease that. If you take these, I think it's still going to be quite easy. But if you take these, oh god. So in Clockwork Ballet, time gained from killing monsters minus 30%. The thing is, let's say you get 100%. Cool, right? You take one, you get 70%. That's still fine. You take another one, you go down to 40%. That's almost half from 70%. And if you go down from 40 to 10%, you just gain nothing. So you're better have an insane build, because even I run out sometimes with my Eternity. So I would not press this one here. I would probably not even press this one here. Put them in the extra seconds up there. So this is the start of the stuff that you need to make money, but they're still min-maxing, right? I could stop it right here, but there are a few more things. I respect this to where a tier 7 strat would be viable with this. So most people are stuck in tier 7s. I'm actually going to swap to tier 7s. And what that means is tier 7s are the highest normal tier right here. Most builds can get you. If you're not a tier 7, your build has some absolute consequential issues, and you should look into your build guide if you're following one, or educate yourself on certain things. It is almost impossible to make the money required to go higher if you are stuck before. The game currently is so absolutely power crept that getting to tier 7 should not be an issue. It is most likely a build issue. So, okay, you're in tier 7s. Importantly here is there are different tier 7s. So, for example, if you look right here, there's 7-0, then you unlock 7-1, and you unlock 7-2. These are harder, but give you extra quantity. Each one gives you 10% more quantity. Doesn't sound like much, but it's quite a big deal. It's a more multiplier to your quantity. If you can't handle them, don't do them. You want to be able to absolutely crush the content. Otherwise, you're going to lose a ton of time. If you want that kind of gameplay, you can, but go as high as you possibly can without it feeling bad. Important here is no matter in which of these you are going to use as many of these right here as you can. You want to add as much quantity and rarity as possible. There's going to be all these mods that are going to make the map harder. So make sure that you can actually do that. Do not use any compasses. This is just here for a later strat. But do not use any compasses. You should sell them. In 7s, it is not worth using them. But you want to use this. Netherrealm resonators are dropped just so much. You can use them. Definitely do that. All right, so in 7-0s, what do you do with the rest of your passive trees? Okay. The first thing you should do is get global rewards that do not slow you down. Yes, you can do cube later, but in 7s, it's not worth it. This is a completely different strat. I'm not going to talk about it in this video. You can do other stuff. You can do Mistville, right? Like all of these are strats, legit strats, Dark Surge, right? But we're going to focus on the easiest of strats and the most straightforward. There's no in the comments like, oh, I got unlucky 5 times in a row. I didn't drop X, right? It doesn't work like that. You will make money. It is impossible not to. So what do you need? You want passive rewards that don't slow you down. Nothing where you have to stand there and do it forever. The only thing you're slowing yourself down for is the league mechanic. First up, very important, all of these map nodes, they give you a chance to upgrade your maps. So for example, tier 7s could upgrade to tier 8s. If you look at tier 8 maps, one thing you will notice, even if you don't run them, right here, you go to a tier 8, for example here, price check. They start at 5 FE. They go up to like 6, 7, depending on layout. That's money that you can gain by selling them, even if you're not running them. That is huge, right? So getting those upgrade nodes is not only going to be good for your tier 7 sustain, it's also really strong for that. Now, these one here give you a chance to drop tier 7s, which might sound bad to you because you already have so many, but they work with these nodes that upgrade them. So it says only up to Timemark 7, but they can still be upgraded, right? The pure drop is tier 7, but it can still be upgraded. The most important nodes you have to take are these chest nodes. Now, if you're in tier 7s, you're not going to feel them that much. Sometimes you're going to get an explosion. But you have to remember is, I'm not talking about these nodes being insane. They're just going to add on top of the league mechanic. These are sometimes going to have really good results. And if you go point for point, these are some of the best nodes on the passive tree. It just is what it is. They're not, some of these nodes are not that strong. And the chest nodes are ridiculous. So whenever you kill the boss, wait there for like half a second and you have a around about 50% chance that a chest will pop up and open that. Maybe there's an FE in there. Maybe there's a FE card in there. Maybe there's a stack if you get lucky, right? Okay. Another thing you can do is just get boss drop quantity. This will drop you a lot more beacons and a lot extra currency and some more that we're going to go into in a second. You will also take these additional compass chance right here and the chance to duplicate over here. What that does is whenever you kill a boss, and that does not just go for the end boss, but in general, you have a chance to drop a compass. This could be a compass that's worth 1 FE. It could be a compass that's worth 50 FE. Overall, you need to stay on top of your game and sometimes just sell your compasses. This is all from like half a farming session. I played for like 3-4 hours. This is what I got. I'm going to later sell all of these. Some of them are 10, some of them are 2, some of them are 50 FE. It is a lot of money, right, over time. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's just free. You don't have to get in any compass, nothing. Another thing here is winding keys. These are the respec points. So down here, you can see the respec points. They are in itemized form, and I've sold thousands of these already. So if you go to price check, you will notice they're like 1.2 FE each, and they drop like candy. So yeah, you will just get them randomly. They're once again completely free. Also sell those whenever you need money. Yeah, those are basically all the nodes in this tree right here. And then on top of that, you can add basically whatever you want. I have a little bit of a tip, but whatever you do, it's going to be fine. I really like Eterna. You're going to drop a lot of different currency. And the boss right here has pretty good drop chance also for Flame Elementium. You're going to get pages. You're going to get this. So I'll show you the stuff that you drop in the inventory. So you will drop some of these Eterna Reverberations, which are worth 4 to 5 FE. You will drop some of those. These are the small ones that drop a little bit more frequent. It's like 1.5 FE each. You will drop Solidified Tears, which are like 1.2 each. And I think that's it, unless I misremember something. Yeah, that's round about it. And when you do that, Eterna also has bosses. And those, right, the bosses down here that you see, Blade of Eterna and Kin Warden I think those two anyways, but there is bosses dropping basically. They get all of the boss drops from this tree right here. They also are considered a boss. So very strong. All right, so now let's say you are in endgame. You're in tier 8s. Let's respec the tree to what I would do. We have to remove some points here. We're going to remove some points from Eterna, and I'm going to show you exactly where we go with those points. So what we're going to add now is Goddess of Hunting. This is if you're in tier 8s or higher, preferably 8-1 or higher, which you probably need around about 10 billion damage for. Once you do that, what you go for is extra bosses. So Goddess of Hunting spawns before the boss. We'll do another map in a second. And it basically gives you a choice of different options, which gives you different rewards, right? And you basically have to kill the boss twice or 3 times, depending. I'm going to take the point I took earlier. I really hope it's there. Okay, it's 1 point left. I think I put the last point here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I just put the last point here because I didn't know where to go. Okay, so what we did is we respect Eterna, which means now we have to add a compass to that to actually get Eterna back. 15 points is what you would pay if you wanted to get it for free. Now, you probably don't want to use this one. This one is actually a little bit overkill, and I'm going to stop buying it. You want to use that one, the Rusted Eternal Compass. Currently, it's around about 3 FEs each, and it just adds Eternal. So all the bonuses you get from the passive tree, you get here. So it's basically like trade-off from 15 points versus free FE, and it's definitely worth it. The second one you want is actually, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere here. Yeah, the second one is not that important. The third one is quite expensive, and this is the Huntress one. This one right here costs currently around about 10 to 12 FE and could go up over time. Now, this one gives you 1 extra boss, which is very strong. If this ever goes to 15 or higher FE, all you do is swap this one out for the less common one. There's one that's blue. I don't think I have it right now, but it basically costs only 5 FE. Oh, it's actually right here. Yeah, this one. This one only costs 5 FE. It doesn't give you an extra boss, but it still gives you the Goddess of the Hunting guaranteed. But if it's still economically viable, definitely take the purple one. Okay. So what I like to also sometimes do is add extra mobs to the map. So you see this compass right here. It's called Shiny Scouting Compass. This one costs 0.7 FE, and it adds 12 packs of monsters, which is quite nice. It gives you XP if you're still leveling. If you're running an Eternity or you have a candle that gives you extra movement speed on kill, it will fuel those. If you have life on kill, all of those good things. All right, so now let's swap from tier 7s to tier 8. We go right here down below. Now we're in tier 8. Whatever you can handle, you should do. The steps from 8.0 to 8.1 to 8.2 to 8.3 are crazy. And if you're running hunting, like I told you to, it is also going to be even more hard. So most likely if you're doing hunting, if you could do 8.3 before, you're going to do 8.2 and vice versa. It's going to be quite rough. So that's why I only put it in the second part of the video. I can currently do 8.3s with this. I die sometimes, but not that often. So I'm going to choose Timemark 8.3. Once again, we're just going to choose something. And yeah, we're going to click on this as often as we can. Actually, this is a good card. Let's just check. 14 FE is basically nothing. I'd rather reroll. So we're just going to click here as often as you can. Important thing is you will see I have 125 here. You might only have 100. And that is because I'm taking the points right here. You get this from unlocking the Traveler. So 5% drop quantity right here. And then right there, this is a rough node. This basically means you can only die once each map. You only have 2 portals, which is very rough. Very rough. So I wouldn't do it unless you're very sure about your build, or you're a tanky class, maybe a Rosa or something, or you perma-freeze everything with Gemma 2. Otherwise, just put it into another small point. I don't think all the other ones do all that much. So that's important, but as much as possible, do not ever not go to maximum here. These cost nothing this league. There's no reason not to. Once again, the compasses I told you about, we are going to take the expensive version, but this is not necessarily the best for you. And now we're going to open the portal. So I'm going to show you how this goes. You go to her again. This is basically the same. This one's really shit, so I hope I won't cut it short, but we'll see. This basically has a risk to immediately disrupt. There we have the first boss. Now you can't see everything that I'm dropping right now. You can see down here on the bottom, I basically have my loot key held down always. If you want to see the build guide to this, definitely check it out. I have I'll put it in the video description. But all you need to know is this is the end game version of the build, so we're just absolutely running through. And this is how it looks like when you min-max your character, and you can basically just absolutely run through content. Another boss, right? Drops a ton of stuff. Very strong. There's a lot of stuff you cannot see that I'm getting money from. Another boss. This is pretty lucky. Usually you don't get free, just so you know. But this was quite a lucky run. Meanwhile, you just do the lead mechanic, and you get to the boss. Now, I'll show you the Goddess of the Hunting. One of our nodes basically makes it so that you do not have to choose. Usually you would have to choose. You just click on it, and then you click on the thingy, and you go in. These are actually pretty rough, but it doesn't matter. We're dropping a ton of stuff right here. I wish there was more to say, but that's what this game is all about. You're just absolutely going to rush through, and you're going to make a lot of currency. If you're somebody, for example, who's in Path of Exile, who likes to out can go, you're going to feel right at home in this game. Now, at the end here, a few tips and tricks. The first one is you have to check your inventory. If you say you don't have currency, people say that all the time. You're going to have an ultimate ember somewhere randomly. You're going to have flame sand, which if you have a full stack of flame sand, this currently sells for 24 up to 30 FE roundabout, and they just drop like candy. These are 1 to 1. Actually, currently they went down. They're only half an FE. All of these are worth money, especially once you get to your compasses, which if you do the strat, you're going to drop quite a few compasses. All of these are sellable. Literally all of them. I guess the second thing is, go right here to your Space-Time Wanderer. I haven't caught them in a while. Store all. Yeah, you can see I have Ultimate Embers here, which are like 70 FE each. Stacks of 9 FE. I'm going to hand it in real quickly. But yeah, that's what you're going to see. Store all. Don't forget to hand in your Lost Secrets, for example. You're going to drop quite a bit. And if you are currently looking at this and you're like, oh my god, how is he dropping so much stuff? Yes, pets, we're going to go to that in a second. But also, the difficulty in this game ramps up like crazy. In certain mechanics where you before saw 1 FE, if you just go up from tier 7 to tier 8, all of a sudden you're going to see a stack of 10 FE. It ramps up like crazy. Another tip is, depending on how much space you have in your trade house right here, you definitely want to, let me just get this real quick. In your booth, you want to constantly sell stuff while you're doing this if you don't have enough space. Otherwise, you're going to run out of space. Especially later, once you price all your compasses, you actually want to have space for it. So if, for example, you drop something where you're like, oh, this is noteworthy, price it immediately. And yes, at the end here, let's talk about pets. Pets are a big deal in this game. So you can actually automate your settings. So right now, I have a Chalk, which is a huge deal. It's a very, very strong pet. Very, very strong drop pet that gives me extra flame fuels and everything. Chonky, you should have. If you played it for a few leagues, you should have it at level 6. And you should take as many of these nodes as you possibly can. I'm actually missing 2 nodes right here, which is because I don't have Chalk on 6, obviously. Cloud Gatherer, same thing. Important to note, this league, you can actually get a Cloud Gatherer for free. Yeah, it's right here. Under exclusive, behind the stage, you can buy a Cloud Gatherer, which I'm actually going to do from this currency that you drop just doing the league mechanic, right? So this one is very strong. These are a big deal. If you're completely new to the game and you don't have any pets, you might still have Chonky because you rolled a little bit. But if you don't have these, don't put Chalky down here. Put him somewhere up there because baseline, all the quant is down here. So you want to put him either here or here so you can get more quant and turn all these other nodes into more quant, right? That is the most important thing. These 3 are GG. Now, when it comes to the league mechanic, Clockwork, there are league mechanic pets right here. I have Alice, which basically gives me a chance to duplicate my rewards at the end. It's a low chance, but it is there. It's very, very strong. If you have free credits, you should roll for her. Just saying it straight up. All the free credits should go towards that. You're also on your way gonna get this guy right here, the Feasting Samurai, and you're going to get the Dragon Plant. If you can get these as high as possible, they also give you extra stuff. You will see right here that there's auto switch settings. What you should put is your league mechanic pets right here at the start, and then your magic find pets second and third. This is basically going to make it so you automatically swap pets. This is only available if you bought the battle pass. And down here, you can also have a bossing tree that you put all the way down. And this bossing tree is basically just any random damage pets. I don't have any good damage pets, so whatever, just anything good for your build, pen, cast speed, whatever. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for today. Do the league mechanic, do it often, do as many maps as you can humanly complete. If you're missing movement speed, if you feel like you're slow in maps, change that right now. It's all about speed. This league is all about speed. Last league was actually quite different. It was more methodical. It was like Mistville, right? This league is a juicier league, so you have to adjust. With that said, hope you liked the video. And since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.